Connecticut's #1 local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kara Sundlun. Welcome to Eyewitness News at noon. We begin with developing news in Summers, where crews are looking into what caused a student transport van to crash this morning on Route 190. That crash happened right between Kibbe Drive and Bailey Lane shortly after 7 a.m. State police say at least one person was taken to the hospital. New at noon, crews are investigating another wrong-way crash, this time in Newtown. Officials say this collision closed down portions of I-84 in Newtown early this morning. State police say it happened after 2 a.m. right near exit 9. It involved a passenger vehicle and a semi-truck. I-84 is back open now, and luckily we're told no one is hurt. In East Hartford, police have arrested a man after a high-speed chase. Police say 21-year-old Mecky Thompson was operating a stolen blue Honda Accord in the area of Park Avenue. He is now being held on a $1.1 million bond and is facing several charges. In Woodbury, state police say they're looking for a suspect who allegedly assaulted someone Saturday night on Main Street South. Pinpoint News Tracker shows you exactly where that is. Troopers say a man was stabbed, and that man was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Officials do say 2 sedans were involved. One is gray, the other one is red. You can see them on your screen. Troopers say there is no threat to the public, but if you know anything, they are urging you to call Woodbury Police. And we turn now to developing news in South Korea, where the Prime Minister has promised a thorough investigation into a stampede that killed more than 150 people this weekend in Seoul. About 100,000 people were believed to have gathered for the country's first virtually unrestricted Halloween celebration since the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, among those killed were 2 American college students.
Well, it is Halloween. Everybody, of course, wondering, what does the trick-or-treating forecast look like? There are some clouds moving in right now, but we're still optimistic that things are going to be dry right through the prime trick-or-treating time. We'll start at 4 o'clock this afternoon on Futurecast. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, sure, but most of the showers will hold off until around 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. Maybe a stray sprinkle through 7 o'clock, and then we start to see thicker clouds build in, and by midnight we start to see showers overspread Connecticut. Maybe some steadier rain into Tuesday morning, too, before this all starts to clear out. Expecting things to be much drier by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon. Look at this. Futurecast showing a clearing trend with sun returning just in time for sunset tomorrow. For today, we'll keep an eye on the clouds over the next several hours. A live look at our iCam in Old Saybrook shows that the clouds have certainly thickened up, starting to build in. In Hartford, we're looking live as these high clouds move through. 64 degrees in the capital city today, certainly mild for the last day of October. Early morning pinpoint Doppler scanning with nothing to show right now, and we don't expect that to change until later on tonight. Currently, temperatures mostly running in the low to mid 60s, 62 in Norwich and New Haven, 58 in Waterbury, 64 in Meredith, and here it is, the trick-or-treating forecast hour by hour. Expecting partly to mostly cloudy skies around 5 o'clock with temperatures mostly in the 60s, certainly mild straight through 9 o'clock with clouds staying thick in the mid-50s. And this kicks off a pretty impressive warming trend, especially for early November. Coming up, we'll tell you just how warm we think it'll get by the weekend in your early morning 7-day.
All right, Mike, thanks. And we have an update now from New Haven on breaking news that we brought to you this weekend. Police say that incident is now a deadly hit and run, and police are looking for that driver right now. Police say 68-year-old Damaso Rosario Luna was struck trying to cross the street at El Grasso Boulevard. She was immediately pronounced dead at the scene, and police are now asking for eyewitnesses to come forward. To Bristol now, where an investigation continues after a man was hit and killed by a car. Pinpoint News Tracker shows you exactly where that pedestrian was hit, at the intersection of Pine and Mitchell Streets. When officers arrived, they say they tried to save the man. Eyewitnesses and a driver stayed on the scene and have cooperated, but there is no word yet on what caused that crash. Hartford police are also investigating a crash that killed someone. It happened on Capitol Ave near Laurel Street early Saturday morning. Pinpoint News Tracker also showing you exactly where that is, near I-84. Police say 24-year-old Lucas Vernal was rushed to the hospital where he did die. The driver and a passenger in the other vehicle had minor injuries. To Bridgeport now, where police are releasing new details on a shooting that happened just before 4:30 a.m. yesterday. Pinpoint News Tracker takes you to the intersection of Herral and Highland Avenue. Police say that's where they found a man with wounds to his face and back, though he is expected to survive. That man was in a car and was shot several times. Right now, no one is under arrest. Police are working to learn more about the shooter. Also in Bridgeport, first responders helped treat a man who caught on fire. That happened yesterday afternoon at the intersection of Vernon Street and Berkshire Avenue. Bridgeport Emergency Management says the man was working on the vehicle when it exploded. Right now, the man's condition is not known. And check out the scene in London. A car caught fire there over the weekend. You can see the video from a viewer that was sent in, just how intense this was in New London. Police tell us that there were some people in the vehicle who were on their way to a haunted house. When they started smelling smoke, they pulled over and flames erupted from that car. Fortunately, they got out and no one was hurt. Ahead, countdown to Election Day. We're hearing from candidates who are making their final pitch to the voters. And the attack on Paul Pelosi continues to shock our nation. Why police say this may not have been the suspect's only attack if he had not been stopped. Millions of Americans have already cast their ballots for the midterms, and tens of millions more are going to vote before November 8th. The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows Republicans are currently in a good position to win a majority in the House, though turnout will be the key. Channel 3's Skyler Henry reports now from the Capitol.
Early voting is in full swing in many states across the country, including in Nevada, where some voters cast their ballots Sunday.
I just want to show my support and do my part in it as well.
A new CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows about 8 in 10 Americans believe things in America are out of control, and a majority of the people who feel that way say they'll vote for Republican candidates.
We have a lot in play. The Democrat agenda is very unpopular.
Get off your couch and...
Democrats deployed big names over the weekend, including former President Barack Obama, to drum up support.
The reason I'm here is simple. I am here to ask you to vote.
Likely voters are also split on their biggest concerns between a functioning democracy or strong economy.
When you see the folks who prioritize functioning democracy, they're voting for Democrats. That's their message. Folks who prioritize a strong economy, they're voting Republican. That's theirs.
Yeah. Voter intimidation as well as potential violence at polling places remain a concern. A newly released domestic intelligence assessment shows that extremists fueled by election falsehoods posed a heightened threat to the midterms.
Very worryingly, you have threats of harassment, intimidation, and violence against election officials, polling places, and voters.
But federal officials stress there are no specific or credible threats to disrupt voting. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, the suspect in Friday's hammer attack on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, had a list of people that he wanted to target. Law enforcement sources familiar with this investigation have confirmed this to CBS News. Paul Pelosi is still hospitalized as he recovers from a skull fracture. The suspect, 42-year-old David DePape, is expected to be arraigned tomorrow. Brazil has elected its next president. Leftist Luiz Ignacio Lula da Silva narrowly defeated conservative incumbent Jair Bolsonaro with just more than 50% of the vote. Da Silva previously served as president from 2003 until 2010. Happening today, Supreme Court justices are going to consider the fate of affirmative action in college admissions. This decades-old policy allows special preference for women and people of color at higher institutions, though challengers of this policy say it discriminates against Asian Americans.
There are 13 dolls that are lurking in areas that they do not belong.
Forget Chucky. How about some more creepy dolls? They are invading one museum. We're taking a look at a chilling collection of haunted dolls you have to find for yourself.
And certainly the only goosebumps that you'll feel tonight are going to be from those spooky costumes and whatever other scary things are going on this Halloween. Expecting temperatures to stay mild tonight in the 50s, and we've actually got a pretty mild forecast for the entire first week of November. All the details coming up right after the break.
And right now, we want to show you Wall Street, where the Dow is down 81 points on your Monday afternoon, trading at 32,781 at this moment. Thanks for being here and sharing your Halloween with Eyewitness News. Whether you're watching us on air or streaming us for free on the app, we'll be right back.
Now, Channel 3 Early Warning Weather.
Good Monday afternoon, everybody, and happy Halloween. Welcome back to Eyewitness News. I want to start off with a look back at previous Halloweens. This is a list that we've compiled of Halloween extremes. This Halloween will not be on this list at all. We are forecasting a couple of showers overnight tonight into tomorrow, but certainly not the wettest. 1939, 1.7 inches of rain fell on Halloween. The snowiest Halloween was a trace. This is because this is Halloween that snow that actually fell on October 31st. Granted, we have certainly had Halloweens that had some snow on the ground, but we're not talking snow depth here, just the snow that fell. The coldest Halloweens, one of them rather recent, 1988 and 2020, 21 degrees on Halloween. That's chilly. The hottest was 1946, and while we certainly are looking milder this year, not going to be anything close to that. Tracking some showers right now to our west. These are moving through Pennsylvania, parts of West Virginia. A lot of these are falling apart as they move into some drier air locked in place over New England, but tonight we do expect some of these showers to make it through. The early warning pinpoint Doppler not showing anything outside right now. And a look at some neighborhood weather, 60 degrees in West Haven, 59 in Litchfield, 62 in Norwich, and 61 in Storrs. Certainly mild for the last day of October. It looks great outside. We are tracking clouds as they build in. This is associated with those showers that we just spoke of. A live look in our iCam Middletown, though, still shows a lot of sunshine and blue skies. Similar in Torrington, a lot of sunshine still popping through right now. And here's a live look right now in Waterbury, 58 degrees in the Brass City. West wind around 7 miles an hour, pretty comfortable, all things considered. Futurecast shows mostly dry conditions through the prime trick-or-treating hours. Maybe a sprinkle here or there, but in general, we are expecting things to stay dry. But overnight, that does start to change. Clouds thicken up. Showers likely, maybe some steadier rain mixed in, too, through the morning commute tomorrow. But this will actually clear out pretty quickly. In fact, we think we will see some sun just in time for the sunset tomorrow night. So the trick-or-treat forecast for tonight, 55 to 62, mostly cloudy, but you don't need to worry about incorporating rain gear into your costume at all. Behind the storm system tomorrow, drier air returns for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and this will be accompanied by some pretty mild temperatures, expecting things to be in the mid-60s almost every single day this week, with a chance for 70 as we get closer to the weekend. Compared to normal, our average high temperature this time of year would be upper 50s. By the end of the month, we talk about mid-40s. So for the next 7 days, we think that we'll watch temperatures start to climb by tomorrow afternoon into the 60s, becoming a little bit cooler in the middle of the week, mid-60s before we make a run for the upper 60s yet again by the end of the weekend. Remember, daylight saving time ends Saturday night. Sunday morning, we get an extra hour of sleep. And Carol, we're talking about highs back near 70 degrees.
Ooh, an extra hour of sleep and some warmer weather. And so nice that it'll be a great trick-or-treat. Thanks so much, Mike. And this Halloween, when the lights go out at the Chicago History Museum, dolls that have spent decades locked in storage emerge from the shadows to play, scattered and hidden within other exhibits. The Haunted Dolls and History's Horrors collection seeks to share with visitors ghost tales about the Windy City's past. Visitors are provided clues with where to find the dolls if they dare to search.
There are some that would definitely send some chills up and down visitors' spines.
But like any nightmare, and this one looks a little nightmarish, the doll's visit is only temporary. Soon they'll find their way back to the museum's darkest corners, where they'll keep the city's deepest secrets. And still ahead, Halloween is here, and many are taking to the streets tonight in their spookiest costumes. But before you leave the house, officials have some tips on how you can keep your kiddos safe this season. And we've got something to celebrate on this October 31st. Everyone who's having a birthday. Marlene is turning 90 on this Halloween. Happy birthday, everyone, and happy anniversary as well. Many are celebrating one of the spookiest days of the year, though officials want to remind everyone of a few safety tips as you head out for some trick-or-treating tonight. The weather looks great, but you still want to carry those flashlights or glow sticks. Those can be fun and still effective. You wear bright, reflective costumes for visibility. You want to wear makeup and hats rather than costume masks. And make sure to check your kids' candy so that everything that they have collected looks safe. And also, of course, if they have any allergies, make sure you sort through it. Now, we do want to talk to parents and ask a simple question. Do you plan on trick-or-treating tonight? We know there's a lot going on with the pandemic and other concerns, but we also know a lot of you are looking forward to having the first quote-unquote normal Halloween in more than 2 years. So you can vote now online and on the Channel 3 app. And right now, we're seeing that 64% of you are saying no. Now, I don't know if that means that just the parents aren't trick-or-treating or your kids aren't. But the voting will continue on the website. We'll let you know throughout the day how it's going. There are pumpkin carving contests, and then there are pumpkin carving contests. Take a look at this one. In the Florida Keys, they do it a little differently under the waves. The annual underwater pumpkin contest featured 18 scuba divers in competition, and they carved their jack-o'-lanterns right near the Horseshoe Reef, about 5 miles off of Key Largo. It's 25 feet below the surface, and the divers created everything from that cat you saw there to even sharks and jellyfish and pirate pumpkins. Very cool. This afternoon's Great Day Connecticut show is all new. We are doing it up in costume, and Scott is joining us.
Chef Plum, you look terrific. Hey, we're making an easy chicken piccata, is that right?
Super easy, great for dinner tonight.
And Kara has requested it, which is so awesome. Haunting at the Ridge. Lauren Richardson takes us on her last stop of the scary tours of Connecticut. She goes up, but can she come down without being terrorized, the ski lift there? And Nora Murphy's joining us with a flashback from 2018, all about Halloween entertaining. Look at those amazing cookies. It's all coming up today at 3 on Great Day. We'll see you then.
Before we head off to break, looks like a fun show. Can't wait. I will be getting dressed up as well. We're going to take a live look at our iCam in Middletown on your Halloween. Meteorologist Mike Slifer has another check at that trick-or-treat forecast right after this. Happy Halloween. Looks like it's going to be a nice night for the kiddos with weather-wise, right?
Yeah, we think it's going to be just about perfect. Not too hot, not too cold, and most of the showers will hold off. So mostly cloudy, but that helps to keep things mild. And Kara, we're forecasting things to stay mild right into next weekend. We could be at 70 degrees yet again for the start of November. Pretty impressive.
Wow. All right. That is impressive. We will be joining you all dressed up for Halloween for Great Day Connecticut. I will tell your fortune. And Eyewitness News at noon will be at 4 will begin at 4, I should say. Happy Halloween, everyone.